We all know Phineas and Ferb do some crazy things over the summer, but how feasible is anything they do? Of course, we gotta consider the idea that most of these things can't be done in a day, if they're even possible, but let's see if there's any shot of doing any of these in our own lifetimes. And maybe with the help of an entire company. In episode 1 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create their iconic roller coaster. Now, is it feasible for two teenage preteen boys to build their own roller coaster in one day that loops itself around an entire city? Absolutely not. Especially not in one day, and as large and unsafe as it is. But people do build roller coasters, so it is possible to create one, albeit in like 6 to 18 months on average. In episode 2 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb put Candace's face on Mount Rushmore. Considering the fact that this has been done, totally within the realm of possibility. Legally, probably not, but if they did get the permit, it took Gautam Borglum, the primary sculptor of the monument, 14 years to finish. So like 2.5 years for one face. In episode 3 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb enter a race with their mom's car that has been decked out and modified to be remote controllable, since they don't have their licenses yet. Look, remote toy cars are such commercial staples, and scaling it to the size of a normal size car is perfectly doable. I mean, self-driving cars are effectively remotely controlled. That being said, some of their modifications may not be street legal, but overall this might take a good team 4 to 5 months. In episode 4 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb build their own backyard beach. Building your own personal beach is mostly possible. I mean, it's nothing more than a personal lake with a lot of sand, which could realistically take about 3 to 4 months on a generous estimate. Of course, waves that are surfable isn't really possible with a backyard beach. In episode 5 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb end up herding cows. They don't even do anything in particular, they just end up in this situation to herd cows. So yeah, this is completely within the realm of reality, and could probably even be done in one day. The most realistic episode yet, except for the fact that they herd the cows through the city. In episode 6 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create Swinter. Look, as cool as this is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty unconvinced this could be possible to even require winter clothes, unless they went really high up in the mountains. Creating and maintaining the amount of snow seems so absurdly impossible, and even if it was possible, it'd probably blow out the power grid, considering all the AC and fans that are needed to do this. It might be possible in a confined area, but building it outside in the summer probably isn't it. This one fails. In episode 7 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb catch a mummy. But it was just Candace all along. Yeah, I mean, anyone could get a friend or a sibling to dress up as a mummy and play tag with, so the hard part is just finding the friend. The rest can be done in a day. In episode 8 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb become one-hit wonders. I mean, this is completely doable as long as you have the talent for it. And considering the songs they sing in Phineas and Ferb, it's pretty doable. One-hit wonders appear on a daily basis, so this is absolutely within the realm of reality. Although probably somewhere along the lines of a couple months to multiple years instead of a day. In episode 9 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb dumb war Buford. Well, only Phineas does. This is pretty normal except for the fact that they built an entire arena to accommodate the fight. And Phineas also gets a personal trainer, but that's not as important. That being said, an arena and a trainer are definitely within the realm of possibility, and we're looking at up to 2 years for the whole thing, of which the personal trainer only needs like 2 months. Episode 10 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a high-budget home movie. I mean, people do this all the time and put it on YouTube. This could honestly take anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of months, depending on how efficient and how much they want to spend time on it. In episode 11 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb tell Bigfoot stories and set up an elaborate Bigfoot prank. Pretty realistic for a Bigfoot themed camp, and it's only going to take like a day, maybe 2. In episode 12 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create treehouse robots from their old treehouses and battle them. While a treehouse is a childhood classic and controllable robots can be a common thing, combining the two is kinda impossible for me. I mean, robotics to the strength of pulling a tree out of its roots to become a battle mech is just some Transformer stuff that I'm writing off as impossible, sadly enough. In episode 13 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb fix and use a time machine. Yeah, another one in the completely not possible for us living in the bland normal world. In episode 14 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb set up their own circus. Of course, setting up your own circus is possible, but the training of the staff involved to coordinate a real circus is crazy. That being said, this could be nothing more than a joke circus, and aside from a bit of fancy tech, this could probably be done in 1 to 2 months. In episode 15 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a toy and sell the production rights to Hardy Har Toy Company as their distributor. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty doable, even for kids, which Phineas actually points out. Although getting a deal, remaking the factory to be like Willy Wonka's, topping the charts, resigning, and getting replaced by Toy Rock is a little bit far-fetched, but overall, completely doable within a couple of weeks. In episode 16 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create an entire haunted house to scare off Isabella's hiccups. Said haunted house came packed with friends in scary costumes and a roller coaster, so this is pretty much just Disney's Haunted Mansion, which actually took them over 6 years to complete, but it really should have been done in 2 years. So Phineas and Ferb's Haunted Mansion should probably only take 2 years. In episode 17 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb go to England and participate in a jousting tournament. Yeah, I mean, it's more or less just horses, armor, lances in a day tournament, which is pretty reasonable if you're super wealthy. Those invention profits probably go crazy. In episode 18 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create robots to do their projects for them. This is probably pretty impossible because not only are these robots autonomous like that of a human, but Phineas and Ferb create a replication system for them, along with the fact that they are self-autonomous to the point where they can crash out on coffee. I mean, no AI is capable of replicating human behavior like that, and no robot is able to replicate human movement as Chris Feliz. Completely impossible. In episode 19 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb celebrate their mom's birthday by making her breakfast, a custom card, and setting up a backyard performance for her. While this definitely needs a little bit of preemptive planning and probably requires the stage for the performance to be set up prior, the day seems nothing more than an elaborate birthday celebration. In episode 20 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a shrinking submarine to help Isabella get her sash from her dog's stomach. Look, shrinking technology just isn't really a thing, so this definitely goes into the not possible part. In episode 21 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb become fashion designers. Now, there are definitely a lot of people in this world that become fashion designers, and even crazier, they're definitely legit young fashion designers, without the multiple years of experience a normal job requires. So, while I would normally say it would take a fashion degree and a couple years of experience, this could totally be doable in like a year or two, give or take. In episode 22 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb build an ice cream machine, except Ferb fumbles and gets a blueprint for a satellite death ray instead, which I can't exactly say is possible, but maybe the CIA will prove me wrong one day. If it was just an ice cream machine they made, well, you can get one at Walmart, so it probably wouldn't take that long to create. In episode 23 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb deck out their parents' car to create a monster truck. While changing your own truck into a monster truck is something monster truck hobbyists do, Phineas and Ferb changed their mom's sedan to a monster truck. So it's more of like a monster sedan. Either way, it's completely possible, probably more so with a truck instead of a sedan, and it'd probably take a good 3 or so months. In episode 24 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a pirate ship to look for Badbeard's treasure. While pirate ships are a little bit out of fashion in the naval world, creating one could be kind of fun, and on average could take anywhere from 1 to 2 years. In episode 25 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb reunite their parents' favorite band for their anniversary. Reuniting bands is something that happens all the time, like the Jonas Brothers, and many more. That being said, being able to find the band to the fame of Love Handle at pretty plain places of occupation is a little bit unlikely, but not impossible either. Either way, it could definitely be done in a day or two. The hard part is setting up the stage for the performance, which could take a good week. In episode 26 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb explore Perry's lair and become secret agents. I mean, the whole fact that they stumbled into this kind of makes it disqualified for it being an idea, but, you can consider the whole secret agent equipment and stuff, in which case a flying vehicle like Perry's currently isn't realistic. It literally had a magnetic pull function that almost lifted up a whole bus. In episode 27 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb help their grandpa out by fulfilling his dream of flying his vehicle, the Holy Mackerel, over a gorge. This may be pretty reckless, but Phineas and Ferb deck out his car by giving it wings, which actually gives it flight capabilities, and that's also where the realism disappears. If this looked anything more like a plane, maybe I'd give it a pass, but it's just a motorcycle with flaps on it, and it somehow manages to fly and more, so not possible. In episode 28 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb gets busted. They kind of just get sent to a military-styled summer camp and they suffer for it. But it was actually all a dream from Candace, so technically this is possible, you just have to dream it in the night. In episode 29 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a chariot racing event with custom-made chariots. This is essentially using modded golf carts to ride around the city. Pretty possible save for the potential rocket mod that they had. Modding a golf cart to this extent would probably only take a good month or two. In episode 30 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create both a Ferris wheel and a water park. Of course, both creations are seen often in our everyday world, of which, assuming the Ferris wheel is built from scratch, it should take 2 to 6 months, while a water park could take up to 2 years. In episode 31 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create an entire rollerblade rink for a rollerblade competition. Once again, Phineas and Ferb go out of their way to create a stadium for a personal conflict of theirs. Like the thumb wrestling competition, a stadium could take up to 2 years, but at least there's no personal trainer involved this time, shaving off about 2 months of time. In episode 32 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb do nothing. Instead, Candace is the one that ends up building a dinosaur slide, which looks like it'd realistically take a good month or two. But this is Candace's creation, not Phineas and Ferb's, and doing nothing for a day would take, well, 1 day. In episode 33 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb find a caveman and befriend him. Disregarding the fact that there probably aren't any cavemen stuck in ice around New York, the pseudoscience of cryogenic freezing makes the possibility of a caveman being revived in today's age 0. In episode 34 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a submarine, this time for the ocean, to rescue Buford's pet fish. While it doesn't have the shrink power of the other submarine, this one appears to be noticeably bigger even before being shrunken down, having enough space for a full-blown crew in the general area. This also means that this sub could take over 2 years to build, if not longer, but totally doable. In episode 35 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a mini golf course, except outside of it being a mini golf course, nothing about it is mini. A normal mini golf course would probably take a good 2 to 3 months to complete, but Phineas and Ferb go above and beyond and build what is effectively a condensed amusement park, exclusively for mini golfing. This would probably take them up to 2 years easily, but honestly, it's a dope mini golf course. In episode 36 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a portal. Look, I shouldn't need to tell you that this is impossible. Teleportation technology doesn't exactly exist in our world, and the accidental ability to switch bodies if you accidentally teleport with someone makes this even more impossible. In episode 37 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb helped Candace get a traffic camera DVD that Perry steals because it would end up revealing his secret agent identity. They actually don't create anything in particular here except strapping a rocket engine on a bike. Yes, I guess you can do this if you somehow found a rocket engine. Would it work as a vehicle? Probably not. And if it does, you'd probably destroy yourself riding it. But I guess it's technically doable in like a day or two. In episode 38 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a drivable bowling ball to set a world record of largest pinball table. This is probably the least straightforward episode because technically this is potentially possible. I mean, I found this remote controlled sphere called Spiro, which rolls around as intended, but scaling this thing up to vehicle size with a functional gyroscope seems on the edge of impossible. Not to mention, I have no reference of how long it would take to create this thing, but if this could be done, I'd guess it'd take a good 1 to 2 years. I'm currently leaning towards not possible right now, though. In episode 39 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb get told the story of Phineas Stein and Ferb Gore, who created Platypus Monster. I mean, this is pretty much the story of Frankenstein, except Phineas and Ferbified. Stories like this can be told all the time, so that part is possible, but creating a real-life monster like Frankenstein is definitely a big impossible from me. That being said, all Phineas and Ferb did do was listen to a story, so that's only like an hour or two's worth of time. In episode 40 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb help their friend Django, who we see like 4 times in the series, paint a desert. Ignoring the fact that it's probably toxic, harmful to the environment, and the painted sand would get blown away by the wind, this could be done with enough paint and time, although you actually don't have a lot of time. If you ignore the fine details and rush the process, you could definitely paint a half-decent picture in the desert in like a good week, maybe less if you need to beat out the wind. In episode 41 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb help Baljeet with his science fair project by helping him build a portal to Mars. Once again, Phineas and Ferb dives into the technology of teleportation, and I shouldn't have to tell you again how unfortunate this is that it's impossible. Also, Martians and not needing an astronaut's suit to just walk freely on Mars is also a big no to me. In episode 42 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb go to space with rockets they built to visit their newly bought star. Now, building a rocket is extremely difficult, especially if these rockets need to exit orbit, taking anywhere from 5 to 10 years for them to build. And Phineas and Ferb build two. Sure, if two teams are building the same rockets, they could be done mostly concurrently, but it's still 5 to 10 years of work. And they also deck out a bar in space, which is another month. In episode 43 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create the F Games, which is just an amalgamation of various sports to see if girls are better at sports than guys. While the sports itself is just a combination of rackets, balls, and other various sport-related equipment, the difficult part of the creation is the stadium, which is once again 2 years, give or take. In episode 44 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create an observatory to view chameleons' comets. And in Phineas and Ferb fashion, they also create a laser to engrave their faces into said comet. Now, the observatory part of the episode is completely realistic, which could definitely take 1 to 3 years. The laser, on the other hand, to have that strength to carve anything readable on a moving comet that is undoubtedly going thousands of miles an hour is impossible. That aside, 1 to 3 years for the observatory, totally doable. In episode 45 of season 1, Phineas and Ferb create their own animation studio that utilizes AI to create their animations. And when did this episode debut? 2008. Dang. Phineas and Ferb were kinda ahead of their time, because their fancy animation studio is just a modern AI, which, if you wanted to create nowadays, is probably a good 3 to 4 months. But Phineas and Ferb aren't some chumps, and create their own animation studio as well as the stage for their animation premiere, which combined could take up to a year. Although, today, they wouldn't really need anything more than an AI machine. Episode 46 of Season 1, Phineas and Ferb create a rainbow machine that runs on rainbow crystals of some kind, which I don't think is an actual thing. But, creating rainbows is simply a refraction of light. This means realistically, a rainbow machine could easily be made with a strong light and a prism to reflect the light. I can't exactly say that we could create a rainbow machine that could make a rainbow like that of nature as of today, but it'd probably be close enough in just a couple of weeks. And that is every Phineas and Ferb idea and adventure of Season 1. Of the 46 episodes, 37 of Phineas and Ferb's ideas are technically doable, and it would only take you anywhere from 23 years, 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 days, 1 dream, and getting lucky with 1 hit wonder, to 32 years, 10 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 1 dream, and also 1 hit wonder. Or in how many summers this actually would take you, 92.5 to 136 summers.